Election day has come and gone, and now you're either a devastated liberal, a rattled never-Trumper, or perhaps you're like me and feeling a little vindicated, as those of us who publicly supported the president are. But yesterday also marked a coming out party for the Free Speech Club at the University of British Columbia. And to mark the occasion, members of the club set up a table outside the student commons, known as the Nest, and proudly wore the now infamous red hats reading, "Make America Great Again," and there were even some "Make Canada Great Again" hats as well. A bold move given the rise of social justice warriors and censors on campuses across the continent. I was invited to come see what was going on, and I was half expecting their event to be shut down in a similar vein to what we saw happen to Professor Jordan Peterson last month at the University of Toronto. But as it turns out, free speech and support for Donald Trump is actually fairly popular at UBC. I was pleasantly surprised to show up to see a dozen or so students and sponsors proudly donning their red hats and engaging students in civil discussions. At least twice I heard people approach the table and say things like, "Wow, there are actually Donald Trump supporters on campus? I thought I was the only one." Louis Jung is a free speech advocate and student at UBC. I interviewed him and some of the other club members to ask them why they decided to take a stand for free speech and risk pushback from those who wish to silence and censor.
We're part of the Free Speech Club, and we are completely apolitical, but we are against censorship and political correctness. And we believe that conservatism and Trump supporters are unpopular specifically in this campus. So we want to promote it as much as we can.
And how have you found the feedback so far from students and people coming through?
We had some great people. We had some people who come up to us, genuinely curious, asking us what we're doing, and then we explained to them what we're doing. And they were cool about it, but some of them were shouting. Some of them were coming by, saying "fuck you" to us, and yeah, the usual stuff. Nothing physical so far, but a lot of dirty looks, a lot of flipping off. Normal stuff.
So, what inspired you to kind of get involved with a free speech group here on campus?
Because I think that open dialogue and exchange of all opinions is necessary for democracy, and I mean for us to move forwards. Because basically now through political correctness and the whole culture of censorship that's going on right now, they're effectively silencing people that are right wing and people who want to make their opinions known.
I'm in a science heavy field, but I am in an English course, so you get a little bit of a response in English courses. It's a little more liberal. But outside of that class, you don't see a lot of political anything on campus. It's actually kind of surprising. Today is really the first time we've ever gotten any kind of backlash. The university should be where you come to get your ideas challenged. So there shouldn't be a hegemon of an ideology on campus, right?
So trigger warnings and these sorts of things that we've seen some students fight for and professors put in their programs. What are your thoughts on those?
They're god-awful. Yeah, they don't belong on campus. They don't belong anywhere.
Sadly, it wasn't all positive. There were a couple instances of students approaching the group and challenging them. You know, the usual claims that all Trump supporters are racist? No, seriously, one guy actually said that.
I think if you support Trump, you're racist.
Red hats having to tell you how your views are so traumatic.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you're having this on campus.
Yeah, I'm really upset that I have to have this on campus. I'm really sad.
You're upset by these guys with the red hats?
No, you know what? They can come and go and they have free speech, but I find it really sad that I'm having this conversation on UBC campus. This is ridiculous.
A campus is where the exchange of free. A campus is the space where free ideas should be exchanged. I mean, this isn't a safe space, right? No one has the right to not be offended, right? I mean, some opinions. I hear a lot of opinions that are offensive to me. Those women were just standing there telling me my opinion's irrelevant because I have some place of power that they made up and that I'm a white male, which I'm oppressing them in some way.
I do feel that white male especially are being more attacked. As you just saw there, the first card she pulled was, "You're a cis white male." And yeah. I just disagree with that. I mean, I am an Asian from China. I immigrated here, and I fully agree with his views. And I feel like it's just completely unfair for you to pull the race card and attack people for that and try to silence them just because they're from some position of power.
But not all those who opposed this group were as civil. One of the sponsors who put up some money to purchase hats for the group told me about the online attacks she was receiving just for supporting this free speech group and Donald Trump.
And they threaten to come get me and all that. It's scary.
And do you think it's...
It makes me, like, I don't want to, like, be so... I was so happy to come out and cheering Trump up, right? Doesn't matter whether he wins or not, but we want to be supporting him and tell him that we care. We care about what he's doing.
So do you think that those attacks are based on the fact you're a Trump supporter?
Absolutely.
Was there any racism being thrown at you in those attacks?
Just basically, you're bad news. You're bad. Stay away from America and all that kind of, and it's just very scary and unpleasant stuff. I have it in I should be reporting it to the police. I don't know, because they said they're going to come get me. It's scary. It's what the other side did. They said that the other side, Trump did, which is like the opposite. And the media is totally, working for the government and not for the people, and telling the truth what really happened.
That epitomizes the whole campaign, doesn't it? All we heard about was how nasty and violent Trump supporters were all election. And yet, once again, we have more proof that it is those opposed to Trump who condone bullying and intimidation. The great news is that UBC appears to have so far resisted some of the infiltration of social justice warrior culture. But will it last? Well, UBC is a difficult school to get into, and I think that means academics and studying come well before activism. And that's the way universities should be. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We'll never stop defending your right to free speech, whether it's on campus or anywhere else. So make sure you hit subscribe to our YouTube channel.